Good evening, people of the internet. God damn it. Every time. Today, we're watching Tales from the Crypt again. Yes. I'm going to keep this short because this video is a little long. Only sin deep. Oh, I'm not full screen. Full screen. Yep.
Mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? Looks like I just bought 7 years bad luck. Speaking of bad luck, it's time for another nasty little terror tale from my Crowley collection. And this one's got a message too. It's a story about greed, death, and a girl who learned that beauty is only sin deep.
You know something, honey? If I had $1 for every time you stood in the mirror admiring your face, I could get off these streets and retire to the Bahamas.
Yeah. Well, this face is my meal ticket, honey.
Mid-roll time. So we are used. Ooh, that hits. So we are introduced to our vanity star, the mistress of the night, the streetwalker. That's what I'll call her.
I'm gonna say this once. You touch me again, I'll shoot your tip off.
Well, you listen up, little girl. This is grown-up time out here. You want to have an attitude, you might need some protection. Yeah, pretty girl like you could get ugly real fast with an attitude. You hear where I'm at?
We can already see elements of, egotisticalness and, being self-absorbed, very high and mighty, a narcissist, pretty much. I think this episode depicts a narcissist pretty well.
Real smooth. You keep that shit up and you ain't gonna last another night out here. Well, if it isn't Mr. GQ. I tell you, for the rich, every night's a party night.
Not really. Actually, a lot of the rich, they just kind of work all the time. It's the stupid rich that party all the time. So I think she was like freelance or something like that, and then that pimp was trying to pick her up, and she had a problem with that because she's the best and no one can do anything better for her. So that kind of pisses the pimp off. But she has a plan. She's a thinking woman. She doesn't think well, but she's a thinking woman. She's thinking about herself.
Hey, sweet thing, I knew that you'd come around.
Yeah, I'm sorry I was acting so mean.
Don't worry about it. How about a little sugar for Pimp Daddy here?
So what's her plan, might you ask? Well, we will see it come to fruition quite quickly, actually. Really quick. Like right now.
Strictly business.
Hey, what's up, baby?
Give me your jewelry.
You got to be crazy.
She has pretty decent trigger control. I'm watching her.
Let's make a fucking deal. Give me the watch. Or don't you see where I'm at?
Yeah, I see where you're at. Here. Just be cool.
Well, I mean, she had a gun. It's not really good to grab a gun. Unless you really know what you're doing. Yeah, a little bit on that. If you expect to be able to grab a gun that someone's holding at you, you're going to die very quickly. Unless you have many years of martial arts training and your reaction speed is faster than your thinking speed. Because the average reaction time for a human is about a second. But if it's muscle memory, it is much quicker. So if you have the muscle memory for it and the training for it, yeah, you could probably disarm someone if they're that close to you, especially limply holding a gun. But other than that, your chances are less than slim. Like, minimally, like, less than minimally slim. Minimally slim. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ow. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, if someone's holding a gun in your face, absolutely reach for it as slow as you can, and that will unalive you as fast as possible, which is your goal, right? That's what you want, right? Okay, good. Yeah, okay. So we're on the same page. Fuck.
Why'd you say you got this stuff?
So that's your big plan for getting rich, is steal a bunch of jewelry off a pimp and then take it to a pawn shop and get some quick cash. Not a very long-term solution, I might say, but, you know, go off, queen. So anyway, she's in this shop, and turns out to be not an average shop. It's speaking to her.
You bastard! You savage!
I do like that setup. A little heavy-handed. One thing I'm noticing about the first season, a little more than the other seasons, is the foreshadowing is a little more heavy-handed than in some of the later seasons, as it's a little more subtle sometimes. Could just be the writers that were on the show, I'm sure. This was the first season, so it's kind of the actual run of the show. They didn't have everything ironed down. No fault to it. I'm just saying the foreshadowing was like, old lady, bam! You know what I mean.
I got 2 months or something to redeem my stuff?
You got 4 months. Plus 12%. If I was going to take it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Means that if this watch was any hotter, I'd have burned a hole in my hand. No, wait.
I thought you weren't interested.
I ain't interested in them things. But I can see you got something that's worth a whole lot more.
Sorry, old man. I just retired from that business.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your beauty.
My beauty, silly me. What was I thinking?
You wait.
I know that they're trying to go for a creepy shopkeeper. Possibly it's just the actor that was pushing it a little bit. I think he was pushing a little bit to be creepy rather than creepy. I feel like if this came from more of a perspective of, oh fuck, he needs her, and he needs the beauty that she has for something you'll see in a moment, I feel like it would have come off a little better. See, this feels more like he's a creepy guy that's just gonna like take pictures of her or something. But I feel like it would have been more impactful if it was like, wait, I actually need you. I need you for this type of thing. So, just a little note, I guess.
$10,000 cash.
That's a lot back then. But still, it's only 10 grand. It's not going to get you very far. But I mean, 10 grand. It's at least 5 candy bars. So, yeah, I don't know. Might be worth it.
I hope you ain't claustrophobic.
Voodoo, magic, witchcraft stuff. Things. Ooh. It's getting spicy. I like that. Little shit like that. Wiping it off her face. She comes out. It's good. So, now, why did he do that? He paid her $10,000 in 1989, which is quite a lot of money. Paid her $10,000 $1,000 to put some goop on her face and make a cast of her face. Why? Why would he do that?
Almost time, my love. Almost time. Pretty soon, you'll be back with me. You'll look just like you did before. Like the day we were married.
Damn, that's kind of sad, though. If anything, he's doing it for the right reasons, if you can say it like that. Got the curls. New woman. Man, she always has gum. The fuck. Yeah, you'll see later in the episode. I originally thought that perhaps this was some way going to bring her back. But it actually doesn't. I know that's a bit of a spoiler, but, I mean, the show has been out since longer than I've been alive, so, I mean, can it really be a spoiler at this point? So, she blows 10 grand on a bunch of useless shit, but it happens to work out for her because, well, she's pretty, and let's be honest, pretty people get everything they want. That sounded so bad. Oh my god. Did you blow the 10 grand immediately? I mean, what the fuck? I like that. That was short and sweet. She just got out and looked over. The other guy looked away. Told you all you needed to know. Wow, you think she's an egotist?
Hello.
Hi. I just love that she turned around. Hi.
I get by.
I don't want to tear you away from your guests.
Well, I saw you, and let's just say something more important came up.
Sounds like a cheap sexual innuendo to me.
I'm sorry. It's supposed to sound like an expensive one.
You don't think it's rude to leave your date, go make a pass at another woman?
One thing I like about that scene, quite a bit actually, is how the other date comes into frame but is completely blurred. I mean, you know it's her, but it's blurred. She's in the background. Neither of those two characters are thinking about her in that moment until she looks over, and then it brings her into the scene as a character, rather than kind of like a background thought. I really like that. That's some good cinematography.
I don't know the first thing about you. At least tell me why you came.
I haven't yet. Look, we're both playing games. You know it, and I know it. Truth is, you do know the first thing about me. You knew the second I walked in the room, the second I walked through that door. But I'm the girl of your dreams, right?
Oh, she's playing hard.
You want to get out of here?
But you never ask.
Again, right here, some really good cinematography with the doors closing. I feel like that's possibly them saying that's her closing the doors on her old life, is kind of how I'm seeing that, at least. A really good shot, fades to black. Boom. Now we're at another time. 4 months later.
It's gorgeous.
Nope, correction. You are gorgeous. It's just real expensive jewelry.
So you can see pretty much now that she's got pretty much everything that she's ever wanted. As, you know, materialistic as that may be, she does for now. Oh, honey, he's just gonna eat you up and spit you out. The one thing that always baffles me is that people who are that kind of narcissist, that are extremely materialistic, they they kind of don't realize that if that's the only thing that they provide is beauty, that runs out. And they always get dumped. They will always be dumped on the side of the street. They'll always be the ex-wife, because that's the only thing that they were there for. They never provided any value, even emotional value. They're there. They're a toy, basically. So they're going to get cast aside when they grow up. So it's just... I mean, in real life, too. I mean, it happens in movies, but that's because it happens in real life. Movies are just an imitation of that. So I don't... She's not the brightest, is what I'm getting at.
That'd be exciting. Sweetheart, you okay?
I just dropped something.
What is this, the makeup counter at Macy's? You're a knockout, for Christ's sakes. What do you need all this junk for?
I don't know, I got an acne flare-up or something. I feel like I'm in high school.
Well, when I get back from my trip, we can go to the prom. What do you say?
So, she's freaking out about how she looks, which, I mean, I stopped caring about that a long time ago, because it's never going to improve. That's another really bad one. But it's kind of sad, actually, is, and you'll see why it's really sad, but the guy kind of seems like jovial. He kind of seems like a genuinely decent person, even if he went after a gold digger and he kind of flaunts his money a little bit. He doesn't seem to be as obsessed with vanity as she is. He seems like just more like a guy and like, ooh, she's hot, I'm gonna go fuck her, like a lot of young guys do. So yeah, I kind of feel sorry for him, actually. Vanity will get you nowhere.
Come on, zit face. Give me a kiss goodbye.
I think another really good symbolic fade or transition is that. I call that the kiss of death. That happens every now and then in movies. It's the last kiss of two lovers before something terrible happens. But in this instance, the terrible event that will occur is from one of the loved ones, which I think is nice. I like that. It's, this one's standing out for cinematography, where the other ones in the first season haven't necessarily, like some of the later seasons have. But this one's starting to ramp it up a bit. I mean, in all honesty, she had the opportunity to reverse this. She already got the guy. She didn't need the 10 grand, so she could have just get the 10 grand back to him from her boyfriend that's a millionaire. Yeah, and I don't get that, because to me, unless it's part of the voodoo magic that they forget, which isn't explained, so I'm assuming that that is not something that magic does. Therefore, how could you forget that you laid back and a guy poured goop on your face and made a cast of it? Like, maybe you just blow it off as being weird, but that's weird enough that in the position that I'm in with the money that I have, that I'm wearing like over 10 grand, why not buy that back from him, just in case he does weird shit with it? I'm not a very superstitious person, but if someone did that and then I had the money to take that back, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to take that back, just because I don't know what they're doing with it and I don't want them to do it anymore. Not necessarily just because I'm superstitious and I think that they're going to put a curse on me or something like that. That wouldn't be my first thought, and I'm not saying that's what she should be thinking. I'm just thinking, like, I don't know, it's weird. You have the money, buy it back. You had the 4 months. I mean, 10 grand is nothing to you, apparently, so why not? I don't know. I feel like this could have been prevented.
I could have had any man I wanted. Now I can't even get arrested. I'm 21 years old. What am I gonna look like tomorrow?
Miss Vane, if you'll just sit here for a moment, I will attempt to explain this to you. Frankly, your skin seems to be aging at an accelerating rate. It's very important for you to try to think back to any time, let's say within over the last 6 months or so, when you might have come into contact with a toxic material. For example, contaminated water or gases, radiation, anything out of the ordinary which could have caused this.
Why would you forget about it?
Miss Vane?
Get out of here. Don't do business with this man.
Didn't look at it too careful, did you? I told you the time limit was 4 months. 4 months from this date is the 4th. Today's the 5th.
I missed the fucking deadline. If you want to mark it up, mark it up. Just tell me how much.
100,000.
Hey, Joe. How's tricks?
Hey, Mac.
Ma'am?
100,000. It would not die 4 months ago. I do like how it's like one day past, he's like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. It's kind of like dealing with the government, honestly. Like, no, you're like 5 seconds late. What the fuck are you talking about? You can't do this shit anymore. I thought that was kind of funny, honestly. Why are you destroying shit? Oh, she's trying to make it look like a robbery. Oh, I get it. Okay. Yeah, I do that in the mirror sometimes too. Ugh. I like how she's trying to make it look like a robbery, even though that never works. Like, literally never works. They know if it's a real robbery or not. But, man, damn. If that doesn't emulate real life. How many times has that happened? I mean, it's been in the news so many times. There's so many YouTube videos about all these different women that would marry rich guys and then steal everything and, you know, find someone else and leave, or kill him and leave, or fake his death, or hire a hitman to get his money. Wow, that shit happens all the time.
What's going on? Who are you?
Ronnie.
How do you know my name?
Hey, just don't move. I'm calling the police.
Yeah, I'd like to report a burglary.
Go ahead.
The address is 630.
Wow, she's cold.
Sir, can you hear me?
Who are you?
Don't you recognize me, lover? I'm the girl of your dreams.
How many fucking shit? He's got 10 pounds of lead in him. Jeez, give him a break. I really like that scene, so I just let most of it play without cutting it up too much. The tension was really good. You know, I'm allowing myself to talk in there, of course, because it's a reaction, I guess. But the tension was built up really good, and it felt fairly realistic, honestly. The surprise, the shock, everything that happened. And you can see how cold she is. And I don't think she's a psychopath. I don't think so. I think they're trying to imitate someone who has severe narcissism. I think they're trying to imitate someone who has severe narcissism. And I think they're doing it really well. And also the 80s drums, baby, at the end of that shit. What is it with 80s drums? I love 80s drums. Oh, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. It's just shit like that. I love it. Fingerprints. So she finally breaks in with a trash can, and she's kind of like barely hitting the door, but she gets in, you know, movie logic. And she actually kind of finds out what happened and why he took her beauty, kind of. But he gives her an ultimatum.
That's the way she used to look. She used to be so beautiful. Now I need other women's beauty just to keep her that way. Small price to pay, I think.
Look, I don't know what kind of crazy voodoo shit you're into, and I don't really care. But we had a deal, man. Look. Oh, that's worth more than $100,000. Now I want it back! Give it back to me! I want my beauty back!
Sure. I could do that. I could give you your beauty back. If that's what you really want.
Ooh. So with the actions that she had partaken in, rather unfortunate. For one, if she didn't burglarize the place and just took the jewelry, she probably would have been out of there faster, right? Most robberies, they don't just like randomly destroy shit. They pull stuff out to pull stuff out, right? So it could have passed off as a more reasonable burglary, correct? If she just went in, stole the jewelry, which is what they would have done, came in, and then purchased it, she wouldn't have killed him. And therefore, fuck herself even more than she already had. Because now she can't turn back. Now she's stuck being old. Which is also interesting. I wonder if her lifespan has been reduced. Like, what if she just dies of old age in like a couple days or something? Which would be... wow, that'd be horrific. That's one hell of a curse. Couldn't happen to a nicer person.
She stole every scrap of jewelry the guy bought for her. Then she offs the guy, leaves the murder weapon on the floor. They're already on record from a soliciting rap last year. We're not talking rocket scientist here.
Yeah, she's not the smartest, is she? No, in fact, pretty much everything that she's done is entirely selfish, with no forethought, and is incredibly stupid.
A face like that, who needs brains?
Why don't you watch where you're going? You old, ugly, trifling bitch.
Trifling. Of very little importance. Trifle. Insignificant. A trifling matter. Of small value, cost, or amount. A trifling sum. Why the fuck is that the insult that she used? I'm sorry, that just really stood out to me as something that like an older person, probably white, would say. You trifling little ruffian, or, whatever. But, just didn't really fit the character. I thought that stood out a little bit. Anyways, moving on. She's strutting across the street. I actually like it when she's holding it in the street as almost like an offering or like a plea, almost. Kneeling in the street. Very, what's the term? What is the word I'm looking for? Ritual. That's what I'm looking for. I didn't find it. I found it in my brain. It's almost like a ritualistic, how she's holding up her self-image in her hands as it has crumbled before her. Never to return, never to be replaced. Honestly, kind of poetic for how it ended. Yeah, this one, it started out kind of goofy, but when it hit the middle and then to the end, there's some really good cinematography choices in there. And it really picked up the pace for just symbolicism, I guess. Is symbolicism a word? I believe that is. So I'm going to keep that in. Acne cream. Oh.
Poor Sylvia. Kiddies. Guess you heard the old saying, if looks could kill. So she did. Just goes to show you. If you want to sell yourself, take a look in the mirror first.
Yeah.
See you next time, boys and girls.
So, yeah, honestly, that guy wasn't really doing it for the right reasons. He was holding on to something. I thought it was going to bring her back, was kind of what I was thinking. Which I could understand the draw for that. But he's simply just not letting go of the past, unfortunately. Bum, bum. And yeah, I think more on that. Man, neither of them were very good people. Which usually happens in Tales from the Crypt. But that's just because it emulates the darkest parts of humanity, right? This one, vanity, selfishness, greed, I guess technically. You do feel for the shopkeeper, because he might be a creepy person, but he lost someone that he loved. And this is the only way that he can see her again. Which is problematic in its own sense, because he has never moved on, which means that he will never not hurt in his own way. So he himself, by continuing to do that, is cursing himself to remember her like that, to remember her in a hurtful way, rather than being able to move on, which, I mean, moving on is difficult. And the fact that he's most likely taking the beauty of a lot of women who are narcissistic, I'm assuming that's what the story's getting at, it's not really doing a good thing either, because it's not really teaching them to be thankful for what they have. It's also continuing sorrow, and it's just growing sorrow. Sorrow just keeps because of him, because he can't let go, and it continues. But he is in his own hell, so it's kind of honestly, that's kind of a sad story, just all around, just sad for everybody involved. Yeah, damn. Thank you very much for watching my video all the way to the end, and I hope that you enjoyed it. It was a little bit longer than I was anticipating. As I was recording all my mid-roll, I did not think it would be that long, but it has been that long, and I will cut it. I hope you have a lovely day, night, or evening, or whatever time it has to be wherever you are. And I'll see you next time. Here!